Good morning. Welcome to the Public Works meeting for the City of Tumwater. Today, August 20th, Thursday, 2026. All council members are here. Myself, Councilmember Swarthout, and Councilmember Kelly Van Holst. Number one on our agenda is the addendum to lease agreement with South Puget Sound Community College. Take it away.
Well, good morning, council members. I am waiting for my presentation to actually finish rendering and come up. So hopefully this will work. And so, as you know, we relocated the Water Resources offices temporarily over to South Puget Sound Community College.
How long has it been, Dan? Has it been 2 or 3 years?
Well, we formally moved in 25.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, maybe 24. Maybe it's been two years now, about 2.5 years. But we started the lease with them in the year prior to that, and we took some time to remodel the space because there was some existing classrooms. And at the time we had planned for some future growth, but not growing as quickly as we had. Now what I'm looking for is the presentation button and the way I can share my screen, kind of help facilitate some of this conversation with y'all.
So this will be our 4th year leasing with them.
Correct.
Okay.
Our lease is actually up in 2028. It's a 5-year lease, so it was 23, the initial lease, and we do have an option for an extension if we need it, but it doesn't seem like we're going to need it now. I think originally we were anticipating being here a little bit longer. Can you all see a presentation? I can't tell which screen.
Yes, but it's not in presentation mode.
Okay. Fantastic. Let's see if we can get it there for y'all. You see a presentation mode now?
No.
You still don't, huh? Fantastic.
Now it is.
It looks like now it is.
Now it is. Okay, let's go back to the beginning here. So what we currently have right now is rooms 107, 108, is what you see here in the highlighted area. And what we are proposing to lease out is an additional space right over here, 101 and 102. Really, those two spaces for us, when we had originally acquired the highlighted yellow space, 110 is actually part of the overall main office area. 111 was reserved for a Zoom room. This open area you can see here in 109. Let me see if I've got, yes, in here. This is the open area you can see in 109. Whoops, sorry, my bouncing around over here. When we have 4 people, and we actually have 6 people in this area right now, 7 people in that area, if you include our water conservation specialist who you met the other night, all on meetings, it gets very loud. And so we wanted to create some additional space for folks to be able to kind of cordon off and either have a small conference area or meet on Zoom. And so that's what this space was originally intended for. That space is now a hard office for our deputy director. So what we have here, we're taking these rooms here, 101 and 102. We had actually previously planned for this during this biennium to start the acquisition in 25. And so our budget, for this biennium actually covers this area as well as room 106 here. We were anticipating, because we do a number of trainings, with our operations team, with other staff throughout the city, and a need for additional training space, was identified. We couldn't program it long, to really justify the expense of a year-long lease, or the biennium lease. So we never moved on actually with these increases earlier on in 25. The needed for the meeting space is become a critical need for us. One, because we don't have that small space for our team when they're all in the office to meet on Zoom. That becoming very difficult. And we also are creating a hard-walled office for our sustainability manager, which would be room 102. Or 101 here, a little bit larger. Overall, it's about 90 square feet. From a budget perspective, when we looked at the leasing, this budget, we had already planned for this and actually an increased square footage space. And so, we have the overall budget in and of itself is well sufficient to cover this cost for this remaining year. And we've planned and we've carried the budget expenses forward in the proposed budget that we'd submitted for this next biennium. So we would be covered for this year very easily, as well as being covered for the future biennium should council accept that moving forward. In total, the lease difference is about I want to say, let me see here. I have it on another spreadsheet that I didn't have prepared for me right now. It's about $10,000 in total. So not a major significant impact for us in that sense. So really, that's the request. The other item that we are recommending or asking for in the amendment that is being requested is really just altering the language in the contract that allows us to pay on a quarterly basis instead of a monthly basis. It's much easier for us. It's a more efficient process for us, and we can kind of do it, like I said, more efficiently. That's the other piece of the amendment is requesting. And so our recommendation to you is to forward the addendum number 1 to the September 1st City Council meeting, and request with a recommendation for the mayor to approve and sign that. Any questions?
Yes, I just have want to add something to this discussion because we're looking to purchase a building so we can house everyone. And I just would like to know how much have we paid to rent from SPSCC? And this includes the renovations that we have done. So we can show the public, how much money we've spent that we need to put into our own building, right? How much? So does anyone know?
Yep. In 2025, this year, we've expended just about half of this year's budget. But in 2025, the total amount was $61,299. So about $62,000 or $61,000 in total for this office space. And we're on track to meet our budget this year of about $70,000 for that as well.
Okay, but what about the renovations to get the place fixed up, Dan?
Yes, the renovations, and again, we were anticipating being here for a longer period of time. And so we had spent about just under $300,000. I want to say it was like $298,000 for the actual renovations to this area, which included a major renovation of the 2 classrooms to create the space that was be functional for the team here, because we have both office staff as well as field staff. And so we need to create kind of equipment and amenities that could cover and manage both types.
Right.
Of employees.
Okay. And we can't take that with us,
No.
When we do move, right? So
Correct.
just giving the public an idea. So when it's time for us to make that decision on this is better for us. Okay, Thank you, Dan. Any other questions, comments, council members?
Yeah, I do have one. Let's see. So it shows the total cost of the improvements for the new rooms for 101 and 102 shall not exceed $5,000. But it's shared costs. So are we sharing the cost with SPSCC, the renovation for those classrooms?
Those would be that's what we've committed to. We wouldn't make
Okay.
any major significant improvements on our end. So we're not doing any major overhauls like we did for the space that we are existing in. Really.
Right.
Throw some paint on the walls, something like that, just to kind of freshen the space up, and office equipment that we might need in there. But at the end of the day, SPSCC is replacing. I know they're replacing one of the windows because it has kind of a louver blind on it right now for it's almost like a concession stand, and so they wanted to kind of replace that for us. And they're making some other improvements on their end. So those are the shared costs that we're looking at. And like I said, painting, I think SPSCC again is going to take care of that, for us. But we're not really planning on any major improvements aside from what we need to do from an IT standpoint to make sure that it's functional and connected.
And then this one will run through 2028.
This will run through the end of this lease term, correct?
Okay, because I was looking for it in the addendum and I didn't see.
It would just run concurrent with the existing lease.
Okay, right, got it.
Doesn't change that term.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you.
No other.
Chairman, do you want a motion?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll make a motion to place addendum number 1 for the off-site lease with South Puget Sound Community College on the September 1st, 2026 City Council consent calendar with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much, Dan. Next, we're going to discuss the Percival Creek Fish Passage Burial Removal Project, and will that be Mr. Bill?
That will not be Mr. Bill. That'll be Mr. Ryan. I'm gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna bail Bill out of this one.
All right,
Um,
take it away, Mr. Ryan.
all right, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, are we functional on the presentation? Excuse me. Perfect. Well, good morning. As you know now, I'm not Bill. I'm Ryan Blazer. I'm a excuse me, engineer in the Transportation Engineering Department. Here today to request an increase to the change order authority for the Percival Creek Fish Passage Barrier Removal Project so that we can utilize all available construction funds since the construction bid came in less than the engineer's estimate. And I'll also use this opportunity before you to give you a brief update on the construction progress. Come on here. All right. So a brief background. You've all seen this project before, but here's a brief reminder of it. It's a fish passage culvert installation. We replaced a 5-foot diameter culvert with a much larger box culvert. That's going to allow the stream to return to a more natural condition and allow the salmon and other species to return upstream to the headwaters at Trosper Lake. We're also constructing roadway improvements within the project limits that will include new sidewalk and bike lanes. So you can see there, that's a picture looking due west from Sap Road. The project timeline. So this project started, really it started last year, but groundbreaking occurred June 15th of this year. That major, excuse me, we're estimated to be completed by October of this year. The major work that started on June 15th was the utility bypass. That included 2 water mains, 1 pressurized sewer line, 1 gravity sewer line, power, communications, gas. It was a heavy lift for about a month before we were able to access the ordinary high water mark and get into the stream within the work area. So once all that utility work was done, nets and pumps were installed upstream. In this picture that you see, upstream is to the left and downstream is to the right. And we isolated the work zone. That allowed us to then safely relocate fish and other aquatic life outside the work zone while the creek was dammed up and the water was pumped around the work zone. Once that was fully isolated and the creek was protected, excavation started, removal of the old culvert, and installation of the new one. The new culvert is now fully installed, and the walls upstream and downstream next to the culvert are currently being constructed, and I'll show pictures of that in a minute. And within the next week, the full stream channel will be constructed. Logs will be placed in the stream as designed for habitat and hydraulic stabilization. So now I'll show you actually a brief time-lapse video of one of the culvert sections being installed. So it's the same angle, and you can see on that west side of the road, that large crane bringing in these sections. The culvert is 19 feet wide on the inside and 60 feet long. And so you can see them placing it. There were, I believe, 8 sections of that culvert. The reason that it's shaped like a U is so once all those sections are placed and grouted, we can place the stream material inside the culvert, and then there are smaller U sections placed on top to complete the full 4-sided box structure. So there's a reason it's not fully enclosed, so we don't crawl around and have to place the stream bed material in a closed box there. So the reason we're here, getting into the requesting a 20% change order authority, our current construction budget status, we have no issues or concerns with our budget. We are trending great, and there are no foreseen problems. That being said, there's always potential cost increases. There may be additional stream bed enhancements desired prior to reintroducing the stream, additional costs associated with excavation and backfill to correctly install the culvert, the stream, and the roadway, and potential costs associated with oil-based price escalations in the market, as we've seen on other projects recently. Now, the biggest advantage to this increase in change order authority is to capture all available funding, and I'll get into that here in a second. Again, because our construction bid came in less than the available funds for the project. So the contract award amount was $1,930,930, and the requested 20% change order authority will bring our authority up to $2,317,116. We have construction grants in the amount of $2,257,550, and $2 million of that is with the Federal Protect Grant, and $257,550 of that is in a state salmon recovery funding board grant, or surfboard grant, as you might hear it colloquially called. And with this being a quick construction project, a very small window for construction, we're proactively ensuring here that we have the ability, again, to utilize these grants that we have already secured. And that request is to give us that availability to use these funds that we have. And with that, are there any questions?
No questions,
I
just,
do. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So we're on track to have this completed in October, that the SAP Road will be reopened in October.
I believe that's the case, yes. So at the end of this month, we need to be out of the stream, and then the month of September and October will be building above the culvert and into the road and reestablishing utilities and all that. And I believe it's October that we should be in.
Okay. And I missed the when you guys did a field trip out, so I didn't know if you'll be scheduling another field trip. It'd be great to be able to. I didn't get a chance to take part. Not that it has to be all about me, but it'd be fun to go back and look at it again.
It is a very exciting project. If you would like that, reach out to either Bill or Colby Fletcher, the construction manager, and they can absolutely coordinate something if you'd like.
Thank you.
I would like it too, because I also missed it gallivanting around, this summer.
Yeah, I will say again, it is quick. So by the 31st, the stream will be reintroduced.
Wow.
And so, potentially in September, there might be, that'll be a great opportunity to check it out.
I'll add too, we have monthly check-ins. I have monthly check-ins with each of you. If there were ever something that you wanted to do a field trip as part of those monthly check-ins, or if you ever want me to bring any technical staff to those, I'm always happy to accommodate that. So if there's things you're curious, we want special focus on, or you want to go see something, just give me about a week's notice so we can have staff get ready for it, and we're always happy to set those things up.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, any construction visits, coordinate with Bill or Colby. So.
Okay. I just wanted to say that, Ryan, this is a good problem to have. We're not used to construction bids coming in way less and having this issue. So, great planning on being proactive. Any other questions or comments before I entertain a motion?
I don't have a question, but I did want to share that I ran into a neighbor of the project, and they were just in awe of all the work that's happening, and then what a great system Tumwater has with this construction. So I just want to give you and the team kudos, because I heard it out and about.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
With this construction and the peanut construction, because our neighbors are following it on social media. So there was one where you saw the guys, they were just, completing the sidewalk, and it was just looking so smooth. And I was like, I like that. That's what we've been asking for, to show our engineers, our water resources, hard at work. So whoever's doing that, I want to thank them, because it's looking exciting out there.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So can I have a motion, please?
Okay. Do you want me to? Okay.
I
Go
can
ahead,
do
Kelly.
I move that we increase the change order authority provided to the Transportation and Engineering Director under Tumwater Municipal Code 2.14.060 from 10% to 20% for the Percival Creek Fish Passage Barrier Removal Project, and place on the September 1st, 2026 City Council consent calendar.
And I second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Waiting for one more aye.
Aye.
And
Sorry.
the motion passes. Okay, number 5 on the agenda. Are there any additional and future items for us? If none, anything from staff?
Nothing from staff?
Dan, Bill?
Yep, nothing from transportation engineering or for us, me.
All right, outstanding. With that, our meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye.